Y'all know my boys have been in Japan for the last 2.5 weeks, and they were supposed to leave Okinawa last night. Well, an hour before they were set to leave for the airport, my one boy got violently ill. And so his aunt and uncle reached out and said, hey, he's way too sick. He can't fly right now. Change his ticket, at least give him a day. So we're sitting at supper trying to frantically change his ticket because his flight takes off in like 3 hours. The only ticket that we could find was Okinawa to South Korea to Seattle, Seattle to home. Well, we really didn't want him going to South Korea, but then it was like, it's our only option. By the time we tried to purchase that ticket, it was unavailable. So we call back and we're like, hey, there's no tickets to change it to. So my boys overhear it and they're like, you know what, we think we can do it. Like, we're going to sleep on the plane for the majority of it, and I think like the worst of it is past. So they get to Okinawa and they fly into Tokyo. They get to Tokyo and all flights from Tokyo are like shut down. They're sitting on the tarmac for like 4 hours. They don't even know if they're going to get a flight out. And so he's like, I think we're going to have to get a hotel. And I'm like, I don't know that you can rent a hotel on your own. So I'm dozing off and on all night long. And finally he calls me and he's like, hey, okay, we're leaving, but we're going to Seattle. I'm like, okay. Well, then he called at like 5:02 this morning, and I had finally dozed off because I thought they were leaving. I missed the call. And so the last text message I got was, hey, we're just now taking off. I'm pretty unwell. You know, just be praying. They had no Wi-Fi on the plane, so no updates. And they should land in Seattle in 2 hours. The last thing I heard from my boy was he couldn't keep anything down and he was severely dehydrated. So I'm praying to God that when he gets to Seattle, it's not like, you know, all over the place trying to get back into the States. Like, you know, sometimes when you fly into Atlanta, you know, you fly into A and you got to get to I. Like, it's a pain in the butt. I'm hoping that where they fly into is right next to where they're flying out of. But I'm super anxious today. I just need my kid home so I can put my eyes on him to see like what's going on with you. And he said, well, I think I ate too much, but he's not one to overeat. And so I said, are you sure? And he was like, I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. So I'm thinking it was probably food poisoning, but I'm anxious that he's dehydrated and he's not drinking anything on the plane because he doesn't want to get sick. And from Tokyo to Seattle is like an 18-hour flight. So, and then he's got to go from Seattle, get on another plane, come home. Like, I'm anxious. So good thoughts, good vibes, prayers for my boys because they were already homesick. They were already ready to be home, and now like all these snafus. So that's where we're at. That's the update. Okay, I'm at the post office and everybody's like waiting for me to get done, so I gotta go. All right, bye.